nothing. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me as always is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder.
See how fast I did that?
You were fantastically fast.
Yeah.
Like you were so fast, you made fast people look slow.
That's right. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yes. I think that today, congratulations are in order.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Today marks, well, first of all, today is October 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how special October 19th is,
that is a special
in the Renatus community.
It's a very special day.
It is a very special day.
Yes.
It's like my birthday, but not.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to put this one out here because I don't think she'll ever see it. The matriarch of Renatus has a birthday today.
Yes, she does.
So, if any of you are connected even remotely close to Holly Snyder, wish her a very happy birthday.
Yes, please do that.
She is 29 again.
29 again.
Again. So, today, though, being October 19th, marks the official 2-year anniversary, the second anniversary of the Renatus mobile app.
Yeah, which is huge.
It's huge.
But even huger are a lot of the updates that have come from the mobile app since then. Those are the things I'm excited about.
Oh, yes. Even huger.
Yeah, like the autoplay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Now, we put this out there last week, and I need to apologize because I can see that our featured trainer right now is holding up the antithesis of what I'm about to say, which is iPhones do not play well with the Renatus app and will no longer be getting updates, period.
Yeah.
Why? Because Apple has decided that they're going to take 30% of every dollar charged by anyone who uses an Apple device to access the app.
Mm-hmm.
30% of all charges. So imagine that you're going to put an order in and you're like, oh, but by the way, there's a 30% upcharge, or I'm going to lose out way more on my commissions because I own an Apple. So we decided we weren't even going to cross that road, and instead have just decided to let it lie. So the app will stay in its current format forever for the Apple devices.
Yes.
But on Android, I just found out last week, autoplay works.
That's right.
Meaning that they now go from segment to segment without you having to hit play every single time.
Right there, that's worth buying a Samsung. Says me.
Just say it.
Yeah, that right there. That's a life-changing.
You know, it's not actually a Samsung.
Well,
it's
an Android.
And
yes.
Samsung manufactures Android phones. Some of them.
Probably the majority of. I don't know. Anyways, it
maybe,
doesn't matter.
Maybe here in
Android,
the U.S.
Yes,
but
maybe here in the U.S.
The other thing that we found out is that the mobile app, it communicates seamlessly with the education dashboard. So several people have said, "Oh, well, I'm not able to see the progress that I'm making in my mobile app. It doesn't update my dashboard."
Uh-huh.
Well,
it does.
It does in Android.
Yeah.
I don't know about Apple.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've never actually accessed it.
I'm not actually bagging on Apple devices or the OS or anyone who uses them. I don't like the way that the company has dictated that anybody who runs an app must then run all of the purchases through their merchant account. That I don't appreciate.
That's my beef with them.
But I love competition, right? The free market is ruled by competition.
And right now, Android or Google Play is free, right? Like they don't charge you the.
Yeah.
Well, they don't charge.
They did try.
They did. And
I don't want to say that they are somehow.
No. They're only slightly better, right?
Right.
I found out that this is off topic, but iPhone or Apple that Apple was purposefully slowing down phones with updates so that you would buy the new flagship phone. And I was like, oh, Apple. But then I was like, you know what? I wonder if Samsung's done that. And I did a little Googling, and I found out, Samsung's done the exact same thing.
Totally.
Yeah, dirtbags.
You're making me speak German here.
Dirtbags.
Was soll das denn für ein Quatsch?
Big phone. We're coming for you. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. We found out just a few moments ago that our featured guests do not have as much time as we would like.
Yeah.
And so
that's why I said my name so fast.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
you're
I
so
was speeding
speedy.
through it.
Oh, now I
It's about
get it.
time. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now, okay, here you go. Just let it play until the end of the segment, and you tell me if it updates to the next segment automatically.
Our featured guest.
Oh, he's saying it does.
He's pulling it up on an Apple currently.
Does.
And okay,
all right,
cool, good to know.
All right, but you didn't get the release that came out today, did you? Did you? Because Android users did. Oh. Sorry, I shouldn't argue with.
I don't think. I know they can't say anything back. I can. I think even if I owned an Apple, I wouldn't switch, even with all that. Like, because I'm thinking if the reverse were true with
here's the
I'm
deal.
so ingrained in my habits and my way of doing things, I wouldn't switch.
Here's the deal. Right now, the mobile site works regardless of what device you're on.
Oh, yeah.
And you get the full functionality of Helios.
Which is what I would do if I
Right.
had an Apple device. I would just go to the mobile
Just
site.
go to the mobile app or mobile site. Yeah, mobile app. I just go to the mobile site. You'll be good to go.
And
you can
it's
access
it's continually
almost
being
everything there.
optimized for mobile use as well. As we
Oh,
move
yeah.
along, so.
Oh, yeah. But the app is great, and it's only getting better. And I can tell you this. We have... I'm going to hint here. I can't really tell you much, but we have the next big feature that's coming out is going to be directly accessible through the app, and it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the deal.
October 19th.
October 9th. Next October 19th.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So the next the other announcements that I just wanted to cover really quickly is we are directly in the middle, like the dead center right now of the 5-star Winter Circle Winter Edition.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had some massive movement in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen people who are in the top 5 drop out. We've seen people who were not there get in, and we've seen those people that have been leading the top 5 all along start to drop spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so go ahead and check. If you go to your Helios homepage right now, you'll see that that things have shifted around a little bit. But I'm super excited. In just 2 short weeks, we are going to freeze the results for the remainder of the contest. And then it's anybody's game.
Yes.
I love when we do that.
Especially, I know I've said it before, but I love the condensed time period.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is what starts to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And so it shifts around more with that shorter time frame.
Yep.
And so it's fun. It's really fun for us to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to see, basically everybody in the top 10 work hard, because generally what happens is number 5 through 10, those spots, they're usually pretty close in sales.
Oh, yeah. Actually, right now, it's about spot 3 through 10
that are really close in sales.
Pretty dang close.
Yeah. And so stuff shifts quick.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see number 7 go all the way up to number 4 or whatever it may be, right? Like it happens just like that, because they get a couple of orders and then bam, it's like, all right.
Yes. And we get to see everything on our end, so you guys can be jealous because we're gonna freeze the results and not show you, but we get to watch what's going on, and it's awesome. Anyway, we're right in the middle of the 5-star Winter Circle, and we're also right in the middle of our regional season.
Yes, we are.
So we have had 2 amazing regionals. We had Boulder or Denver, which was a phenomenal kickoff, and then we just had DC, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm eager.
But this week coming up, we've got Chicago.
Yep.
And
then
not next week, but the week following.
And Salt Lake.
It's Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
and then Salt Lake. And then Phoenix.
All right, don't listen to me. Okay, yes.
Oh, there we go.
We got our graphic up there.
There we go.
That's beautiful.
So you don't have to take our word for it.
Exactly.
You can look at the graphic. So we've got Chicago the 21st and 22nd. And then we have Fort Lauderdale on the 4th and 5th of November. So that means we're going to take 1 week off. And then we're back. And then the week following Fort Lauderdale, we've got Salt Lake City. And then the week following Salt Lake, we have Phoenix. And it was pretty fun. I got a good opportunity to talk with Bill Predabon yesterday.
Yeah.
He's hosting the Phoenix Regional.
Yep.
And what he's putting together sounds amazing. It sounds so cool. Like it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really, really
Well,
awesome.
I'm really eager to hear how DC went. So I was at the Denver regional.
Yes.
Colorado, whatever we want to call it. We should probably call it Colorado because it's like a.
It's Denver, Boulder, kind of those between those two cities, right?
Yeah.
And anything in between.
But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was just phenomenal, right? Like it was the regional of all regionals to kick things off.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Very inspirational. I watched a lot of people really be moved by a lot that took place in that regional. And if you're there, you know what I'm talking about, right? And if you're not, be at the next one. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying I'm really eager to hear how DC went because I wasn't at that one, and I hear
good things.
I hear very good things.
Very good things.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, this regional season, we have seen more pack attending all sorts of regionals. So every regional conference seems to have a multitude of pack members there.
Yeah.
From all over the country.
Which I think that's how it should be, right? That's what should happen. You should get to see your pack that aren't normally there, aren't normally in that market.
I think it's time that we just bring out our featured guests because there's so much that I want to say and add and contribute.
Let's get him out here.
I want these guys.
He's got to
out
defend
here.
his iPhone. We need to get him. Poor guy out here can't defend his iPhone. So.
It's not. Don't put him into a box because of what phone he chooses to use. Matthew.
I won't.
I tell you what.
Right.
We have with us Umair and Yas Hawk, and let me just, as I bring you out, let me just let everybody know a little bit about who you are. You two are the epitome of what pack members should be. You are inclusive, you are teachable, trainable, coachable, and you are leaders. You are servant leaders. You dedicate your time, your talents, your energy to building your community, to serving the Renatus family as a whole. And it shows. It shows when people get to know you, when they talk with you, they can feel your authenticity. And I am super glad to have you guys come out here today because you are also the hosts of the DC Regional. So we would love for you to come out here and tell us a little bit about how the DC Regional went down. Yeah, buddy.
Yes, we hear you and see you now. You guys are on camera. Do it. I appreciate that. That is honest. Yeah. Heck yeah.
You know what, Umair, just hang on 1 second. For some reason, we've got a number of people that are telling us on the stream that they're unable to hear you. I don't think that's your fault because we can hear you.
Yeah.
I think that's on our end with Mr. James,
can't hear him.
The wizard behind the curtain.
Adam's going to help address this as well.
All right.
So I think he's probably watching and going.
Yes.
From Greg, and his album is just amazing. I was in the shower singing it and stuff. So if you guys need me to throw some notes,
let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it, man. Lay it down.
What song? I don't even know what song I'm gonna sing. Well,
so
the best
everybody
one.
Can hear us? Okay.
Can you guys not hear me yet?
No, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, Alvin says we got it, but we got to hear this now.
All right, sounds like we can hear you.
Well, you know what? It's really me.
We never actually see.
I can't sing it as good as Greg, so I'm not going to do the disservice.
Oh, he's incredible.
Dude, you lined me up so hard on that one, and you just
So for everybody who might have missed what we were talking about, is Greg's got pipes. He can he can sing, And so he's saying was it at the regional for you guys, or was it somewhere else? Like,
No, I just had him. I didn't even know about his singing until after like the marathon.
Yeah,
Well, he sent me a video.
Hang on.
Yeah, and then and we're in the car after the marathon. We have dinner, and then on the way home, he plays a song for me.
yeah.
And I decided to take him to the airport. So on the whole way to the airport, we listened to the same song like 3 times because I loved it so much. It's like I'm a fan of his music now, and I've been telling everyone about it. So, just like Renatus, like when I found Renatus, I was like, man, everybody's got to know about this.
Yeah.
So I started listening to his album, and I downloaded it, and it's like my whole team. I'm like, guys,
was this off
Spotify,
or where did you find it?
I got it on iTunes and Spotify.
Okay.
So.
iTunes, Spotify. I've seen. I know stuff's out there on Spotify. So iTunes and Spotify, go check it out. It's Greg Kimball. What is it? Is it called the Final Percent? The album.
The Purple Explosion.
That's right. The Purple Explosion.
That's right.
Yes.
He's
got pipes, man.
It's nice. It's real good.
It's cool.
Right on.
Yeah. So,
well, hey, let's hear about the DC Regional one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just, I like being 100% with you guys because the same things that we go through, we know that you guys go through, just in different ways. So before the regional, I'm sitting here. Yas loves the regional. Like she would do it every month. Like she absolutely loves the regional. But Umair was like complaining. I was like, man, I don't feel like herding these cats to get to the meeting and do all of this. I was like making excuses in my head of the regional, and we haven't had it in 3 years. So I was like, maybe we can do it online. Like I was just coming up with all these lousy, lame excuses now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so we were stressing out a little bit before the regional because we just weren't sure how it was going to be, right?
Yeah.
And then so the regional happened, and sometimes you're doing stuff and you're going through the movements and you're making money and you're just going through the day-to-day tasks, and you forget what made you fall in love with this business in the first place. So I was at the regional, and it started off slow, but as the speakers started coming on and I got to hug people and see people, and the trainings really inspired me. They inspired me so much that I ran a marathon the next day. I was so fired up.
And you've never done that before, right?
I had never run a marathon in my life, but it's a testament. It's a testament to what us human beings can do if we just put our mind to it.
Yeah, you completed
and
it.
So,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
do you know what your time was?
No, we walked some, we jogged some. It was like a little over 6 hours, I think. I can't remember exactly.
Dude, that is not bad. 6 hours
for never having trained.
Wow.
At all. That's pretty incredible because a good time is like in the 4 hour. Like if you're under 4 hours, you're
like
you train and do this and
go
you're
pretty
around the
serious.
world.
It might have been longer. I gotta ask Greg. But I think it was right a little longer than 6 hours.
Gosh, that's awesome.
But it was an all day thing, but it was awesome. It was fun. And so back to the regional, and I'm losing my thoughts because there's so much I want to share, but the regional was something that we forgot, and the trainings and the people, and it's like, I was even making in my head, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard this before. Oh, because when your brain has already done something, it's like, oh yeah, I already know what that's about, right?
Right.
I feel so stinking bad for the team that I didn't really push to be there. I mean, I called and I called and I called, but I wish I would have, and even the guest, like this year we had guest there, and I was like, well, I know what a regional is, and I was like fighting what people were saying, maybe because I'm a fighter. I was like, I don't know if I want my guest. I was just being a big negative Ned. And despite that, the regional went amazing. And I really got to thank Yas for it. And it's great to have such a powerful partner, because when she's saying stuff about the real estate, because I'm always trying to buy more houses with the money we have, I help her out to see the vision. And sometimes, I call her the marketing queen, right? She will never stop.
Well, and so, until I had the baby. I had to take a
Oh no, you did not stop when you had you may have taken a little break.
She took a day off. It's okay to take a day off.
She took a breather. 2 days off, guys. And so the regional, I learned so much. Bob Snyder's training was amazing. I took so many notes, and we realized that we still have so many holes in our game. And we're always learning. We're like, maybe we can do that. And maybe we can adjust this. And maybe we can adjust this. One thing I learned as an athlete was, hey, as long as you keep perfecting your game, the game never ends.
Yeah.
So our game went up tremendously during the regional. Our mindset changed. We had some really big shifts. And the awards banquet, it was so nice to recognize the people doing deals, making money as ICMs, leading the charge as leaders. And,
he moved a lot of people,
including us. Yeah. Like, we are so revved up and excited. Like, right after the regional, we put in someone was like, look, I got to go 100% in. I want my Epics combo right away.
Oh yeah.
Then an hour after that, a guest was like, man, that was amazing. I got to see what the community was about. They got their cash essentials, and they're just lined up. I mean, we have the most amazing product on the planet, and not enough people know about it.
Oh yeah.
Not enough people know about it.
I love hearing your excitement for it and seeing that change in you, in your persona, just how you were talking about, I was really worn down. I was really not having the greatest time, the greatest experience. But then you actually get into the event and you get inspired all over again. Your belief is just refired, relit.
And
I love that.
I got a secret. I got a secret for you guys. Yeah. That's why we do these events. That's why. I mean, my dad always says sometimes the meeting needs you, and sometimes you need the meeting, and it's true. It's sometimes even when you haven't done one in 3 years, you're coming back to this in-person event kind of situation after this weird forced kind of gap that is not normal, and so it's understandable that you're not in the mindset or mood to do it because you haven't been doing it, and you've kind of lost maybe the vision of what a regional is and can do, and then you go through it and you're like, holy crap.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that it's been so long since you guys have done one. So that makes a lot of sense.
Is it 4? Because it would have been 20.
What? Oh, sorry. 2018. Yeah. 2018. You know what I thought about was this. It's the same experience. It's like everything's different, but everything's the same, right? It's that same feeling that our customers get before they're about to buy their Epics combo. It's like, man, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. But as soon as they take the class, they're like,
holy crap. Have you seen this velocity banking thing?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when people are fighting and they're like, man, I don't know if I want to market Renatus. But when they get their first $10,000 check, when they change someone's life, they're like, this is amazing. It's the same thing before or in the middle of running a marathon. Man, this is tough. But afterward, it's like, I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's worth the effort.
And if people start seeing that in their business, and that's what they get the opportunity to see when they're at the regional, right?
Yeah, they do.
And that's the key.
And it's motivating, right? It gets you motivated. And sometimes people need motivation. Sometimes you just start to you go through the motions, and your heart isn't in something. I've had this happen with almost every single thing in my life at some point. My heart's just not in it because you just go through the motions and you kind of get a little worn down. And my dad always says, life will either grind you down or sharpen you up, right? It's your choice.
Right.
And sometimes you just need a little inspiration, a little something like that to motivate you. It changes everything.
It comes back to that burnout is a mindset.
It does. It
right?
is.
And so Zig Ziglar said, I've never met a lazy man. He was either sick or uninspired.
Yes.
And so you guys were just in need of inspiration, and you received that going to your own regional,
which I just
the regional that you guys put on.
I love that so much. I love, first of all, that it's honest. It's true. It's real. It's just it's a very human thing to eventually go through that at some point. And that's why you got to get back on track, get re-inspired, because now you see the vision, you see it again, right?
And I love that you guys can.
I need to hear all those Bobisms. I call them Bobisms, right? I need all of those Bobisms in my head, right? And I get I get the opportunity to hang out with Mr. Bob Snyder every Monday on our pack calls, and it is fantastic. That's why we want to remain on the pack. In fact, don't count the Hawks out. I know there's 2 weeks, but we are grinding it out. You're going to see some epics go in.
Nice.
Right? Yeah, buddy.
Dude, we never, ever count you guys out.
Never count us out. Even with baby Sophia, she's like, she's ready. She's going to be putting in epics orders when she's 3.
Is her middle name
she's on the phone like,
nice. Is her middle name like Epics? Because I know that you got Combo as your dog, right? Is her middle name like Sophia Epics Hawk?
That's funny.
I thought about it.
Her middle name is Nur. It means light. So she's showing us the light.
That's awesome.
That's better than Epics. I'll give you that.
That absolutely is.
Our next dog will be Epics.
Nice.
That's an awesome dog name. Yo, Epics.
That is a cool name, actually. I like that.
Dang.
Time to get
now. I got to go get another pet and name it
right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't even want. I love my dog. We have a great dog. We have a full-blooded German Shepherd. She's fantastic, and she sheds like a mother. Yeah. Like all over, hair everywhere. And I don't love the hair, but I love the dog, and so I don't know. I definitely am not going to have 2 dogs at once. Anyway, the question that I have, yes, Umair was paying you high praise and saying that you love hosting these events. You love bringing everyone together. How was the regional for you? How did it affect you and your mindset?
It was amazing. First of all, seeing Umair moved so much by the end of the event was like, he was like a different person. I was like, baby, you needed this meeting or regional more than anyone. Like, I saw in him. It was just amazing. And I started planning like about 5 months ago because I knew we're going to have Sophia. Then I don't want anything to go wrong. I want everything to be perfect.
Perfectionist. I just do stuff. Perfectionist queen.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we started planning a while back. Our volunteers and like executive team, they got on calls with us and helped us so much. I can't thank them enough because without them, we couldn't have had this great event.
And such a good team.
Yeah, and all the guests that they came from all over the East Coast, Maine, New York, Philadelphia. It was just awesome. Without them, we couldn't have a great event.
And we learned stuff from every one of those groups.
Definitely. Our team loved meeting other people because they usually see us all the time. And it's so hard. What is that saying? Like, you can't be the prophet in your own land.
You can't be a prophet in your own land. Yep.
Yeah. Like sometimes they're like, okay, we heard enough of you guys.
All right, Umair.
Can we hear someone else? So I feel like it really was awesome hearing from all these speakers and everyone that showed up here in DC. It was a little stressful and it was a lot of work. But then on Friday night at the award banquet, I was standing and up there and we were like giving the awards and I was like, wow, it feels so good. I don't want it to end. Like I couldn't wait for Sunday to get there fast enough, like the week before it. But then Friday night, I was like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm going to miss all these people. Let me enjoy watching them.
I so know exactly where you're coming from.
Think of that. I was like, I could relate so hard to that. Like you're just like, well, let's get to the end of it, and then the event starts with nationals, right? And we get it, and it's amazing, and the day one's down, and it's incredible, and then you get to day 2, then you get done, and you're like, I'm genuinely sad it's over. I'm genuinely like let down. It's like, oh, it's done. It's over. It's gone.
You know,
next year.
I know. So Bob says every single year he says, yeah, I always feel bad for the first group that goes with regionals, because he's like, everybody's kind of still working out what they're going to talk about, and it's kind of rougher than the rest of them. He actually said DC was on point. He's like, every single presenter came out and just
brought their
knocked
best.
the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
And so it's so great to hear how it affected you, how it affected your teams, and how other people were inspired by the trainings and by just the collaboration and the family all coming together. That's just awesome. That just warms my heart. I'm so jealous that I wasn't there.
Me too.
Yeah, and Thursday night was like, I was a little bit nervous about doing the intro in front of Bob Snyder. I was like, I don't think he's ever heard my intro. And I don't ever get nervous before speaking. I just get into state and do my thing because I've done it for so long. But the night before, I was like, man, Mr. Snyder's going to be there. It better be a good intro.
No kidding.
So it felt so good to do the intro, and Bob Tierney was there, and Nancy was there, and it just felt so good to do the intro in person. We had a packed room. And then Friday.
And actually, after the intro, our guests, they texted me. Like, I had a few, like 6, 7 people texted me, hey, how can I get to the regional? Like, I didn't even have a chance to get home, but they were already asking for the address.
Wonderful.
They were
wonderful.
It went
so did
so
you guys,
well.
Did you guys have guests there? You had guests at the regional?
Yeah.
That's
yes,
awesome.
we did.
That's awesome.
And they loved it.
And we recommend that we should have lots of guests at the regional moving forward. And I don't think traditionally we did that, but it's a great way for people to really get to see what we're all about.
I agree. I used regionals and nationals as closing tools all the time. Like, I mean, I still do, but back when I was marketing full time, I was getting all my time and my attention. I made darn sure I got everybody I could get to go to the regional or the national, to the point at which I would pay for their ticket sometimes, because I knew where they were in the process, and I just knew if they'd go, they would see the magic, right? Yep. They would see what this is all about, and they would get it, and they'll buy, right? And so it was worth the gamble. In most of those cases.
It's not a gamble anymore,
Yeah.
It's an investment. It's worth the investment.
It's an investment. So yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you guys, because not every market has had chance yet or had opportunity yet to hear from Greg Kimball. Tell me a little bit about what your experience was with Greg, because Umair, before we got started, some of the things that you were saying, was awesome. But yeah, tell us your experience with Greg.
Greg is life-changing. I mean, I wasn't sure it's so because we were talking and I was like, man, when I saw you, like, I judged you. Human beings just naturally just judge people, like, without even thinking about it. I said, dude, like, I looked at you and I was like, man, I judged you. And I was honest with him. I was like, your voice doesn't match your body. He started laughing. He started crying. I was like, I said, because like when I was listening to his album, he sounds like some like,
oh yeah,
like all handsome black guy. Yeah, and I was just joking, right? Because he sounds like an R&B like artist. But anyways, it's just what he brought to the table is something that's never been brought to Renatus. Right. There's been other speakers and everybody is great in their own way. But Greg Kimball is something special, right? When it comes to training in front of the room, getting the message across, coaching. Oh, my goodness. I probably wouldn't have made it through the marathon if Greg wasn't there. Just the conversation, the collaboration, the things he was teaching me. And he just speaks and gives freely. I mean, I met a friend for life at the regional. And so me and Jan, like, we are so connected. I cannot wait to meet his wonderful family. He just had he has an 11-month-old son, and we just had baby Sophia. So we can't wait to just, we made a friend for life. And, we say this in our intros a lot of times, like, Renatus is not about just selling people, right? we want to serve people. And he has that servant leadership mentality in a way about him to help not just one person, but for a lot of people to get the results that they're after. So he helped me in ways like, even he's such a psychological wizard. All right. Before the intro, not the intro, before the marathon, he's singing this song early in the morning, getting stronger. You know, the Rocky song?
Oh
Like
yeah.
he's repeating it back, and he's like conditioning my mind. And then during the running and stuff, we're catching cramps, we're running and things like that, and he's going, getting stronger. And you guys want to know the funny thing? When we're on like mile 20, I didn't even realize that I was doing this, but in my head, I was singing to myself, getting stronger.
Nice.
And I said, Greg, did you program me before this marathon? And he goes, I didn't mean to, but I'm glad I did. And we just had it's just
a great answer.
I am so excited for what he is bringing to the table to Renatus. I'm excited for people to hear his voice because the man can sing, and just continuing to build a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I man, I don't know. I feel like Greg has kind of been our wild card. And one of the things that you had said, because you guys, you took the 5th spot in the 5-star winner circle at the national conference, and you were
we took the 3rd spot.
Oh, you took 3rd. I'm so sorry.
I wish I did 1. No, I was 3rd.
I'm sorry.
I thought you guys took 5th.
that's.
I
feel really bad right now.
I did too. I guess it's just because I was thinking Tierney was 6th. Well, Bob Tierney was 6th and moved up, so that's why in my head it was like.
So here's the deal: you guys had opportunity to basically bow out because yes, you were pregnant at the time with Sophia, and you said, hey, we're not gonna be able to make this trip to Africa, and we're able to invite Bob Tierney to take your spot on that trip. And Bob invited as his +1 Mr. Greg Kimball. And that opportunity is what has brought Greg really full force into Renatus. And so, Umair, one of the things that you said before we got started, you want to say it again?
Yeah, I'll say it. And it's funny because Matt was like talking about the trip and stuff. And we were talking about how, sorry you couldn't go, don't rub it in. But I said, you know what? I am so grateful that we missed that opportunity, because we wouldn't have had the chance to meet Greg and befriend each other and have him a part of our group. And I wouldn't want to miss out on that. And we believe that things happen for a reason. If you're listening to the J.A.M right now, like there's a reason why you're listening to this. God wanted you to hear this message today, right? Be at the next regional. That's the message. But we believe that things happen for a reason. There are no mistakes. And we're glad that we missed that trip. One, because we have our baby girl and we wouldn't change that for the world. But now Greg is closely connected with Renatus, and he bleeds blue. Even though his favorite color is purple, he bleeds blue. Right?
Well, purple is just a combination of red and blue, right? So it makes up at least half of who he is.
That's right.
There you go.
Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, I want to be respectful of your time. I know that you guys have another meeting immediately after this, and I so appreciate you making time to be here with us. I love your energy, and I love the way that you share so authentically. You're so relatable for every single person on the call, to be able just to hear your struggles, but then to also hear what you've learned from it and how you're moving forward even more powerfully. You guys are just awesome, and I really appreciate you being here with us today.
Yeah, we have some more time. I was wrong, but just so you know, in case you guys had any other things, we have until like 6:30. But saying that, I'm glad you said that. Like, and I tell my team this as well. And if you guys are listening, like, I don't ever mind being wrong. In fact, me and Yas, we encourage ourselves to fail every day, because that's the only way we learn. right?
Yeah.
So when I'm on the pack call, or when I'm hanging out with leaders, or when I'm learning from the wonderful classes that we have, and I'm becoming a real estate investor, um, I ask a lot of questions because I don't know everything, and that's okay. So and we tell our team, like, hey, if you're really going to master business and marketing and real estate and communications, like, you gotta fail, right? So I love failing, and when I'm wrong, I admit it right away, because there's nothing wrong with being wrong, right? You just say, hey, I was wrong. I've learned from that, and this is the change I'm going to make.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you guys you see that.
Absolutely.
That's why you're a leader that people want to follow.
Yeah.
Because you can say, yep, I was wrong. Let's do it better. This is what I learned from it. Don't make the same mistake I did. That is so easy to follow somebody who's accountable at that level. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
We get it from you guys, right?
Yeah, we're learning from the best.
We got to learn from Bob and you and Matt, the home team, like, and we were just talking about phones and how iPhone and Samsung mess up their service on purpose. But the integrity, when the new phone comes out anyways.
Oh yeah.
But we love the integrity and the transparency that comes with Renatus. And we want to make sure that in our communities we maintain that standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's super important to us.
That's amazing.
Should we slow down some of the education when we release new classes?
No.
I'm just messing up.
Just no.
Just
man.
to push them to take
yeah.
We're going to slow every other video down, but you know what? We're going to keep Genius and 21 Day at regular. Genius 21 Day.
It's just, we're going to make it at 0.75 speed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know what's cool with the player? You can do that. You can go all the way up to, I think 3x now, is it?
I don't know. That's way too fast.
I did 2x, and I was like, I was trying to hang on, Yeah,
2x is really fast.
It's fast.
Like if you've gone through a class a number of times, listening to it at 2x isn't bad.
Yeah.
But if it's your first time through,
it's hard to grab everything. But I like the Matrix. I just want to download all that information in my brain.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, I tell you what, Umair, the fact that you turned around and ran a marathon, which is just nuts in my head, but the mere fact that you did that, it kind of reminds me. So I've been reading. I actually just finished the book today, "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins, and he's the Navy SEAL who just pushed himself mentally to new limits, right? But hearing you talk about, I just up and ran a marathon one day with Greg, it's like, man, that is very Goggins-esque of you, callousing your mind, pushing yourself to that limit, staying hard, as he likes to say.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.
At the end of every, I love it. Like, every video
I think
he
does like this jiu-jitsu retreat or something that I go to, but he does like this 3-day like grappling thing.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I wouldn't.
It was
surprise me.
It was funny because I was listening to him and I was thinking about my own life and thinking about my weaknesses, my strengths, my goals, all of that fun stuff. And I thought to myself, I really want to get more physical. I want to get, kind of more engaged that way. And then I watched a video online of Umair like kicking the crap out of some guy. And I'm just like, oh man, I am definitely not at that level.
Gotta start somewhere. Yeah.
When you come to DC, we'll all take a trip to the gym, and
Nice.
I'll give a training for everyone in Renatus on just self-defense or boxing. We'll have a fun workout. Or we should do that at the National. Everybody on stage.
We should do that.
Workout.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, that would be that's got to be like we'd have to do that like Saturday night or something, you know?
Yeah, we would have to, but yeah.
Do it early in the morning, cobwebs out, right?
Oh,
that's
yes.
Yeah, it's better in the morning because
yes,
at the Saturday after the
Instead
National,
of
I can tell
coffee,
you what,
we'll get the energy going.
yes.
Yeah.
Instead of coffee, we're gonna get a little dose of Umair Goggins,
or
A
both.
little pill.
Why not both?
Why not both? Oh man, well, you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate you being on the Jam with us today. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for how you share, how you open up. I mean, Umair, yes, you guys are amazing. You are some of our very favorite guests that we've ever had. And I remember, Umair, the very first time that we had you on the Jam, and we had this conversation. And Matt and I afterward were sitting there staring at each other, and we're like, did you hear how he was talking? Do you hear how accountable he is in everything that he does?
We did. This is true. We had this conversation.
Yeah, we were sitting right over there. I remember it was just this crazy, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So you're a rock star, man,
Keep it up.
And yes, you are even beyond that. So
absolutely.
Keep
it up,
She's a
guys.
superhero. We're just getting started. Just getting started.
I was telling Omer or actually our executive team last night, we were writing down everything that we needed to do for the next regional. So like we're already planning and talking about it. It's like we got so
what went right? What could we do better?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
that's either a live autopsy is what they call that, or an AAR, right? The after action report.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if anyone has a chance to get to a regional, don't miss it for sure.
Right on.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna be happy there.
I was serious.
Those speakers
Man, I don't know.
on fire. Yeah, they're on fire. So
there's
don't
only
miss.
There's
don't,
only 4 more opportunities.
Yeah, my brain is still going through all of the content, and I've been trying to like pull it out and like take notes. It's really good. It'll take your business to the next.
Chicago is next, right? Chicago's coming up.
Chicago is coming up, and nobody actually has an excuse. So Chicago is making available their broadcast because they clipped out their room. They can't put anybody else in the room.
They filled it up.
They filled the room.
Sold
they
out.
completely sold out their banquet.
Wow.
And so they are offering the online, and so anybody can get on there and take a look at what's going on at the regional. Now it's not quite the same as being in the room for sure.
It's true.
And at least you'll get an opportunity to hear the content.
Yeah. I agree. It's not quite the same. Like you're not gonna get the same effect, but it's good to get the content.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
Especially if you have no
I
other
can tell
option,
you,
I would
like
do that.
Ever going to a sporting event, being in the arena is so much different than watching it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It's
especially when
different.
you're there and they win and like they come from behind and they win and it's like this
and
huge
the crowd
comeback
gets
story
electric and it's like
it's insane. So there's nothing like that,
Nothing
right?
like
Like
that.
I'll never forget being in the stadium watching Eli Tomac go from this is AMA Supercross. I know, like I lose everybody when I talk about this, right? But watching him go from 13th place to first inside of about 7 minutes, which if you know Supercross, that is an incredible
Here, I'll give you a different one that most people are going to be able to relate to.
Okay,
let's
do that.
So the Utah Jazz have never made it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, during the Malone-Stockton era, we had opportunity where we made it to the semifinals, right? We were in the top 4 teams, and the Jazz were playing the Bulls.
Yep, I remember
for their position. They ended up losing the series, but the very first time, at the very end, the very first time that Michael Jordan came to Utah during this playoff series, he could not believe the crowd. He's like, this has got to be the craziest crowd I have ever heard. And it is just, it just goes through you when you're in that environment.
It does. I've heard this about Utah sports too, so I don't know what that is. Is it just like the lack of alcohol? Maybe people are.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's that we don't have a whole lot of like national level sporting teams here. And so we support the few teams we do have.
Yeah,
like
everybody shows up because that stadium. It was literally rumbling. When I was not the Jazz game, but the Supercross when I was in it, literally it was like people were stomping their feet and it was just unreal. It was such a visceral experience.
So be to the regional live. Right? What's that?
Yeah, you know what they say? They say success loves speed.
Yes, it does.
So success loves speed. So if you're gonna do it fast.
Do it fast. Yep.
Don't get to the regional now.
You know what? That reminds me. That reminds me of the Art Williams speech.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
That was such a great speech.
Oh yeah, it is.
If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's on YouTube. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Art Williams.
Great
do
speech. Yeah, Art Williams. Yeah, just do it is what it's called. And then I think that was even before Nike probably even This was in like the early 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was the 90s when
Was
they
it?
did that.
All right. Well, it's.
But
a
I
good
shared
speech.
it. I shared it with my 18-year-old daughter yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, she was having that. Hey, should I do this right now, or there's this what if situation that's coming up in a year, so I'll just wait until after that. And I'm like, no, don't not do it today because of something that might happen tomorrow.
I have heard that so many times. I'm gonna start marketing Renatus after
I get my first deal.
After there's so many.
That's the worst
insert
one yet.
Right?
Excuse / contingency right here, and it's like, why would you wait 6 months? Just
right.
Like, why would you just get started now? You'll be 6 months ahead of where you will be in 6 months, right? Like, why waste the time?
Oh man,
yeah,
just do it and do it. And do it.
Go watch, Art Williams, just do it.
Oh,
great.
Umair, yes, thank you so much for being with us.
Right.
I got to give a shout out to Mr. James Richens, who has taken over as our producer for the day. I want to thank everyone who's been with us for this podcast. Remember, Renatus rocks because of the people who are associated with it, and that includes you. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. We'll be back next Wednesday.
Cheers.
Renatus rocks.